What we saw last night was we saw that old Reagan coalition coming back together again. We saw conservatives and evangelicals and libertarians and Reagan Democrats all standing together saying, what on earth are we doing?
Senator Ted Cruz giving a nod to Iowa's evangelical voters moments ago in South Carolina. That group was critical to his success in Iowa. So many of them turned out, they represented more than 6 of every 10 caucus goers, a new record. But there are growing questions as to whether Senator Cruz can carry that momentum into a state like New Hampshire, where evangelical voters made up just 21% of the electorate back in 2012. Tony Perkins is president of the Family Research Council and author of No Fear, Real Stories of a Courageous New Generation Standing for Truth. Tony, good to see you.
Good evening, Megan.
You must be feeling pretty good.
Well, it was a good night. It was a good night. I think the takeaway last night for conservative voters is don't listen to the polls or the pundits, but vote your values, and that's what people did, and we saw what came out of
the quality that mattered most in choosing who to support, by overwhelmingly, the top answer was someone who shares my values. Right. And if you felt that way, you voted for Ted Cruz. This is a return of values voters in Iowa, for sure.
The values voters are back. It's the return of the values voters. Look, these are issues, they care about all of the issues. They're not monolithic, they're not single issue, but they want to know someone that has a faith construct, a worldview similar to theirs. That gives them comfort in knowing how they're going to make decisions and ultimately what kind of decisions they're going to make.
But what does that mean for New Hampshire? Because the conventional wisdom is he can't win there.
Well, I mean, it's a more challenging state, no question about it. But his message is actually resonating with non-evangelicals as well. People who are concerned about the direction of the country. They're angry about the political establishment of both parties not solving America's problems. And so I think he's going to take the same message there. It's going to connect with voters. Now, will he place first? I don't know, but I think he'll do well. And in South Carolina, another state that has a lot of evangelicals, is up next.
The thing that's interesting about Ted Cruz is he's a limited government guy. He is a limited government guy. You would think that would play well in New Hampshire, but right now he's not soaring in the polls there. Does the evangelical thing hurt him there?
No, no. Look, let's not get too hung up on the polls. Look what just happened in Iowa. We were told that Donald Trump was going to run away with Iowa if we had this surge of turnout, which we set a record in turnout. But those new voters, most of them were evangelical, and they went to Ted Cruz. So what he's doing, and this is a message to the Republicans that, oh, you can't have a candidate that's too conservative because we might lose the general election. Look, we've tried that in the last 2 election cycles. When you have a candidate who's in the middle of the road, that's not going anywhere. I mean, the only thing in the middle of the road, yellow stripes and usually dead animals. So you need somebody that's driving clearly on the right side.
Thank you for that image. We're showing him in South Carolina. There's a reason he's there. Now he's going back to North Carolina, to New Hampshire right after this. But you've been to South Carolina recently. That looks better for Cruz. What are you seeing and hearing there?
It's good. It's positive. I mean, but look, Marco Rubio had a good debate last week. I was there, watched it. He did well. He always does well. He is connecting with more moderate evangelical voters, as it's described, those that are not as conservative. I think he's going to get some of the vote in South Carolina, but I think increasingly those who are libertarian, those who are Tea Party, those who are evangelical are going to be attracted to Ted Cruz because he is a constitutional conservative. They know the construct by which he will operate.
The latest numbers we have, this is back in 2012, evangelical voters in South Carolina, 64%. So if they vote the way Iowans did, he's got a real shot there, and that's what he's hoping to do. He says his campaign has staying power, resources, and broad appeal.
It's a first. He does have he's positioned and prepared. This is the first time we've had a conservative come out of Iowa that has a nationwide organization and money in the bank.
But the acceptance speech, whatever, I keep saying acceptance, it's not acceptance, but the
You're
victory
getting ahead
speech,
of yourself.
It went on a little long.
All right, I'll talk to him.
All right, it's a little long. You got to give Donald Trump that point.
All right.
Tony, great to see you.
Thank you, Megan.